Hey friends, this is Emma. Welcome to today's video. I really have been itching to do a foster care update and let you guys know where we are in our journey and what is going on with us in terms of foster care. So I have been doing a Norwex vendor event all day today. So my mother-in-law has the girls and I am working, but the office where the vendor event is closes for a portion of the day. And so I have this little break of time, just mama time, that I am so thankful for. Even though today is a working day, it's gonna probably feel very restful because I get some me time, which very rarely ever happens. So I'm actually at the mall and I'm thinking I might treat myself to go watch Beauty and the Beast, the new one. I haven't seen it yet and I really want to go see it. So that is what's happening in my life right this very minute today. But let me back up and explain to you guys where we are with our foster care process since I last updated you. So I think last I talked to you about foster care, we were getting ready to do our classes. And that was sometime in February, I believe, that I updated you on that. The month of March was absolutely and completely consumed with foster care. We chose to do our foster care pride training classes. Actually, it's not called Pride in our area. We do a training called Presley Ridge. It's supposed to be a little bit more trauma focused than traditional foster parent training. And in fact, they didn't even call us foster parents throughout the training. They called us foster treatment parents. We are, now that we finished the classes, essentially able to and licensed to, or we will be licensed to be kind of like a treatment home. It is traditional foster care, but the term treatment is what they like to use in Presley Ridge, meaning that we are able to treat and handle trauma. So, which is good, right? Because the very act of being removed for a child, the act of being removed from their home is hugely traumatic. So we know that there's trauma, at least on some level, and probably the trauma is a whole lot deeper than that because there was something that happened to them that was enough to be grounds for removal of their home. Anyway, the month of March, were consumed with taking these classes, and so the schedule was, we had like a Thursday night class, a Thursday evening class, and then we had an all-day Friday class, an all-day Saturday class, and the following week we had an all-day Friday class and an all-day Saturday class, and then the following week we had an all-day Friday class. So like I said, March was completely taken up with foster care training classes called Presley Ridge, which were great. I actually really enjoyed our training classes. And if you guys want to know more specifically what each unit went through, we did multiple units in each course. If you're curious to know what we covered in each unit, I would be happy to do separate videos on that and kind of let you guys know what you can expect if you are going to do Presley Ridge or Pride training. There are two different programs, but I can tell you about Presley Ridge and let you know what our experience was like with the classes. Overall, it was fantastic. I actually felt like it was a huge blessing because ever since we had children, well, let me back up a little bit further. We were pregnant with both the girls. We chose to use midwives, but we also did Lamaze classes. And when we did the Lamaze classes, I felt like it was an amazing blessing for Jason and I to be on the very same page when it came to the birth. We entered the birth as a unit. We were a team, and I loved that. And I have always said since then that I wish we could take some parenting classes so that we could be the same kind of unified team when it comes to parenting decisions that we were when it came to the birthing decisions. And so in so many ways, these Presley Ridge training classes were those parenting classes that I've been praying for us. So I just felt like God is just so sovereign and so divine. He knew exactly what we needed. And I felt like my husband came away with so many amazing tools in his parenting toolbox, and so did I. We just feel really prepared. I think we feel really prepared for what we could encounter. And I think we feel really prepared for better handling our own biological children even. So yeah, it was just really good. We really enjoyed the class. So now that the classes are done, we have one more home visit, and that is actually happening tomorrow night. I feel as though this home visit is somewhat of a formality. I think she needs to double check a couple things that we talked about after the first home visit, which was locking away our guns in the appropriate gun storage, locking up our medications So I think she needs to double check those things. I think she needs to double check that our water heater has been turned down to the correct temperature. And then I believe she'll probably go over our, what are those packets called? The application. I believe she'll go over not the short application, but the long 14-page questionnaire that each my husband and I had to fill out. I imagine she will go over those and ask us any questions that she has based on what she's already read from those. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm anticipating, is that she will have already read those and that she will want to maybe fill in any gaps that she feels we didn't cover very well in our written answers, so that she can write our rest of our home study and submit it for application. So our licensing worker told us that she's going to submit our application by the end of this month. So after our last visit tomorrow, we will essentially just be in the waiting process. I feel like we've already kind of just been in the waiting process because we haven't had anything that we've needed to do. It's all been on her. From the end of March to today, we have just been waiting. So a couple weeks, just kind of chilling out, waiting for this last home visit. And then there will be more waiting. So we're just waiting. We are in transition. I don't always do so well with transitions, so I feel like God is really working on me and preparing me for the flexibility and the patience and the waiting that I will need to have when we have foster children enter our home, a foster child enter our home. I guess that's the other thing I can update you guys on, is there is still some up in the air, back and forth debate about the number of children that we want to accept. My husband really strongly wants to do one at a time. He's not very open to a sibling set. I am very open to a sibling set. And so we've been back and forth on this, and just kind of praying and working through it and talking it out and seeing, you know, what our life would be like if we were to decide to double our number of children. What I agreed to most recently is that I will accept one child at a time, but I really would like 4 children. And so I've said I will not accept any placement, any sibling calls. Should they call us for any siblings, I've agreed that I will not accept those. However, I feel like this opens up the door for us that if we accept a child and we care for them for X amount of time, and then should that child's mother have another baby, we would be able to say yes to that child. So that is kind of what I am thinking, like saying yes to one child at a time, but still keeping siblings together. So we'll see. I mean, who knows what God has for us? There's so many variables with foster care. There's so many situations that could happen. There are so many things that could play out. And so we're just waiting, and we're just open, and we're just praying, and we're giving God our open hands and our open hearts, and we're letting Him direct our path. So I do think we'll probably end up being licensed for 2 children, but I have agreed to only accept one child at a time for placement calls. That's really even very hard for me to say out loud, because my heart so wants to be able to accept a sibling set should they call us for that. I completely understand why my husband doesn't feel that that is logistically possible for us. I understand that, and I agree, and I want to respect him. I just struggle because I cannot imagine splitting up siblings. I just can't. And I would never want to be one of the factors as to why a sibling set would have to be split up. I think they try really hard not to split up siblings. You know, they want to put them in homes where there's enough room for both of them. So that's what my husband said. He's like, that's not on you. If they have to split them up, that's not on you. You can just trust that God will provide another home for those siblings to go to. It doesn't have to be our home. And he's right. It doesn't have to be our home. And because this is our first experience with foster care, and this is our first experience with having 3 children, I do think that there's a lot of wisdom in only accepting one child at a time. So that is what I'm agreeing to. I'm trusting the wisdom of my husband. We will see how it goes. So I know some of you asked for an update, and I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you so much for caring about us and caring about our journey. I will continue to keep you updated, and let me know, like I said, if you would like to hear more about our specific Presley Ridge training courses. If you want to know more about what each class was like, I'd be happy to share that with you. I did pull out the girls' clothespins, and I went through and I pulled out anything that was neutral in sizes 0 to 2. So I have, you know, a good number of, you know, neutral items that we can use in kind of an emergency type situation where if we get a call and we get a child 20 minutes later, you know, we have a couple things at least for them to put on clean. We would probably still have to go shopping for some boy items. If we did get a call for a boy. For a girl, we have tons of things. We'd be totally set for a girl, but for a boy we would have to get a few items. But I do have some neutral things that a boy could wear. So we're just so excited. It's kind of surreal, you guys. Like, it's very weird to think in 1 month we could have a third child in our home. And I think you guys know our heart is adoption, so please be praying for us. I really would love to be able to have a case where that can play out if that's what's meant to be. I believe in reunification, and I really want to support reunification if that is the right thing, because I know that families belong together. But if God sees fit to place us with a child that can't be reunified with their family, we do want to adopt. So we will see how that goes as well. Praying for an infant, so pray with us that way, that God would again see fit to bring us an infant if that's what He has for us. If not, help me to be open and flexible. So those are all the things, those are all the thoughts, those are all the feelings. There are so many feelings, there's so much to think about. We are car hunting. I don't know if I've told you guys that. We are searching for a Honda Odyssey van, so we've been looking every single night. I go on and look, and I look, and I look, and I look. We are looking for something very specific. We're looking for a 2011 Honda Odyssey with leather. I would really like the touring version, but we have a very specific budget for that. And I've seen a few come and go in our budget. It didn't happen to be the exact right car for us, but we keep looking. So again, patience and God's timing will be our friend. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, we hit 500 subscribers. I've had my YouTube channel for so many years, and we finally hit 500 subscribers, and I'm so thankful and so excited. So thank you for being one of my subscribers if you are. If you're not, hit the subscribe button and join along in our community and our journey. I want to get to know you, and the way that I get to know you is if you leave a comment. So leave a comment, and I will see you guys in my next video. Go make a difference.